Hello, here we are. It's Sam and Rachel. It's the Voluntary Action Harrow Cooperative Local Support Harrow Community Network meeting. Here we are with my upside down head. Anyway, it's been, we had the half term and then also, working out the meeting times and so on. But yeah, I think maybe the beginning of the week it's going to be easier going forward. We'll see. We'll see. Did you have anything that you wanted to particularly add to the agenda?
No, I just sent you
the Red Nose Fund.
Yeah.
Yes, that sounds interesting. Maybe we'll get to that at the end. Just going through the outstanding action items. So the DREE thing, that's continuing, although they are kind of, yes, they're now taking a slightly, they're like, want to get their stuff deployed to Amazon Marketplace or something. So that's kind of on hold. But obviously our existing service continues to work, and we'll see how it goes. We're just actually looking at Elastic Mail for doing our newsletter, which our South African marketing person is very keen on. So we'll use that and let you know. We're still on the first page for Harrow volunteering. We're in 10th place against the competition. So yeah, see what we can get to. Yes. The AdWords thing is all set up. We get that $10,000. Our site traffic has gone up 5-fold as a result. So that's very positive. That's an ongoing note to remind me about the AGO. I guess there's other. We've got trustees. Have that in there. I still don't know. I mean, there's this thing about different in donation membership fee and so on, and all this and the other, but I think it's not high priority at the moment. Team London.
It probably has added confusion the fact that your people are international as well, isn't it? So something like gift aid is only going to be relevant to people based in the UK.
Yes.
So,
it's confusing. So I mean, I think I'm not in a rush to get things set up there. So Team London. The guy did email me back.
Okay, yes.
Just and then I've followed up again. There was a Team London person at the meeting last Wednesday, the Network City event. I didn't speak to that person. I had another meeting immediately afterwards, and they were kind of like quite involved in the event and quite busy. So, good to see them out there. We've got so Marowin is working on the posting via the Do It API. He does now seem to have the things that he needs. We've got I've created a feature based on, this is the story about losing the Zoom. So that is recorded, and we've got this. It's been very good. We've decided we need to break it up into multiple tickets. That was that usage feedback you gave us. I've actually created, so on the agile practices for this, so the next workshop is going to be April 24th, and I'm actually having discussion with quite a few charity people about the use of agile in charities to kind of provide a bit of additional context. So we've got, so the Network City people have a Slack, which is this, and we've created an agile process channel there where we're talking about agile processes. Welcome, Ellie. That's the Network City. There's the digital charities one. We've got Agile, and I'm talking with different people like from the World Wildlife Fund and Bernardo's and so on about their experiences with Agile and so on. So I think once we get well, I think it's a different perspective. It's a different perspective. I think what's particularly valuable here is that they're doing some of the larger charities have very explicitly tried Agile and had good and bad experiences. And I think for the workshop, going forward for local charities, being able to say Bernardo's used it like this and encountered these issues and so on is the kind of thing people are really interested to hear. So it's just very agile to take user feedback and then use it to book club.
And that other one is a rugby book club.
The rugby book club. Oh, that's Ruby. Ruby. So Ruby is the programming language. Okay. So yes, Ruby book club. Yes. So that's ongoing. That's kind of done. I mean, you'll see that at the next meeting. So, if we just go into the usual review of the stories. So we've got some things that are ready to go out that need your approval, what we've got now, so the main two things that we've got ready to go out are Michael's on some improvements to how the site looks on mobile. So that's kind of a no-brainer. The other thing now is we're defaulting to being volunteers being the homepage. So we start off here, and I thought I was going to show that to you. So organizations now as a landing page has this and this and this. There was also that point that
I think somebody saw this and thought it was another organisation.
No, that right.
That's where it came from. And then when Alex looked at it, I thought that might just be. It's more about VAR, isn't it? This bit. This is from Voluntary Action Harrow, non-profit workers cooperative.
Yes, I think this was someone who maybe didn't.
Yeah, I mean, just don't know.
Yeah.
I wonder even if it's this search for local voluntary. Does it come up on all pages when you're on the voluntary?
Well, so this one comes up on.
Oh, right.
This is
okay. It doesn't come up. Maybe if you go back to organisations.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe it's not necessary.
I mean, this is something that this when Lara was talking about search engine optimization, she was saying that for us to get good rankings, it's important. Well, it's important particularly to have the title of the site on the homepage, and then also important to have some other things. I mean, I think if this is actually going to be the landing page now, then maybe what we need to. I mean, particularly if this is confusing about, because on this page you can end up seeing individual organization names. If this is confusing in that sense, I mean, we could, if it's the way this page was, is we could remove this. We could put, Harrow Community Network at the top there.
Maybe and just search for local volunteer. So search for volunteer opportunities and
community organisations. Yeah.
Because I think the confusion was more about it was talking about Voluntary Action Harrow rather than Harrow Community Network. Right. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So that's clear. So we've got the issue there, and this comes in from there. So the text in the old homepage is actually about VHC. Rachel suggests updating other tagline to. And so this is going to be search for local volunteering opportunities. For local volunteering opportunities and volunteering. And community organisations. Yeah. Yes. But so, and we can. I think what Lara will say is, if this is now the homepage, we should have Harrow Community Network there in text for the purposes of the search engine optimization. And then I guess if we have some other text there, if she wants to have the subheading, we make sure that that's the right words. So the action item then becomes, so move move the HCN name and tagline in page from orgs to volops, and make sure tagline is updated and not. That's text about VHC. So we've got tagline updating. Okay. Yes. So that's the. I mean, we've. I think this bug is almost. That's like a trivial thing, almost not worth looking at, because I don't know that you ever noticed it was a developer who found it. Smago is working on trying to pull in the reach skills data, which is basically done, and then we have like a technical block there. But yeah, Anna, who was looking at creating scripts to import this charity commission data, I think has been really busy. Interestingly, at the network charity event, I met a guy who is I think is the CEO of this thing called KindLink. I don't know if you've heard of. And they are already doing that. They're taking that charity database dump from the government, and they're parsing it monthly, and they've created their own. So now, yeah, there we go. They've created that. They're basically every month they're creating their own view of all the charities in England and Wales, and trying to get the charities to log in and add additional information about. So they're sort of trying to do a bit what we've been trying to do for Harrow, but doing it at the national scale.
It's a bit like I don't know if they still exist. GuideStar, we looked at them very
right. I remember. Yeah.
Interested to see if they're still. It's a UK. Let's see.
Interesting. Yes. Do they not? They don't provide any information. Or you've got.
Yeah, I've used them in the past to search for charities, but to be honest, more recently I've been using the Charity Commission.
Yes, interesting question about whether they. I mean, we're not finding the Adventist charity, which would indicate that they're not. I mean, we're a very written one. Yeah.
And you could do that. You could go on and update your information. And I did initially, but I haven't looked at this site for probably a couple of years.
Yes. Yes. So I started a conversation with the KindLink people about, well, could we get?
They've not updated it, so that's the last time they've updated it. So 14. So that still would take. By the time that's on the Charity Commission website, that would be the end of 2014, early 2015.
Yeah.
But that's now a year update. So.
Yes. Well, I think it reflects what we discovered. It's very difficult to get people to kind of go in and update stuff.
Yeah.
It's very challenging.
We're quite early on in this.
Well, I'm not sure, what their business model is or what they're doing. I mean, they've got, it's a more modern looking site than GuideStar. Yeah, they're I mean, they're clearly trying to provide some kind of platform, and they're doing this background stuff. I mean, I was saying to them, what about an API? If you're parsing this data regularly, could we set up an API? And they're like, oh, we haven't got any funds to develop that. Could you, so what I would love to do is just, if they have some scripts that will just parse that data, and they will. I mean, they're probably not willing to share that because that's part of their thing. I mean, it's frustrating. I mean, have you seen the Charity Commission have got a new beta search?
Yeah, I think.
Is there? I'm not seeing.
I don't know. It's odd because I was looking up something for somebody else, and some of them I seem to come through on the computer.
Yeah, so they're updating it, with a nicer interface, but frustratingly, again, it's like what we can search by is not necessarily what we want. And to be honest, although this looks nice, I'd much rather they provided an API so that we could access the data programmatically than this. But there we go. But yes, so that was interesting in relation to that. Yeah. Anyhow, so it's
okay, so what they're trying to sell is the donor management thing,
Right.
which there are a few models out there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they're trying to compete with.
Mm-hmm.
So put anyone on. But then you would, I presume, pay to use.
I mean, it's the standard model is you provide something for free and then you try and monetize it later. So they're saying donors rather than funders.
But it's more like donor management. So Blackboard, it's one of the biggest ones. So it's about, say you're like a Bernardo, so you're getting a lot of money by personal donations.
Right.
It's about how you manage that.
Mm-hmm.
I said, this is probably the most common one.
Right.
This seems to be what they're trying to compete with.
Okay.
So rather than me keeping everybody that's donated on the spreadsheet, and their contact details, then you use something like Blackboard. But it does tend to be, I don't know, local groups that use this. It's more the big.
There's big things. Groups. Yes.
And that, to me, just looking at that whole page is what kind of people are trying to. Trying to do. As a groups we tend to work with, although they would receive money from funds, it tends to be quite on a small scale.
Sure, yes. Yeah,
so far, nobody's come to me and said we need a way of managing
No.
Although they probably could do with improvements, but they're so small that spreadsheets probably still
sufficient.
Before we do it all in spreadsheets, and up until fairly recently, it was in a book.
And I think it's important not to over-engineer a solution when you don't yet have a problem in that area. It was just interesting to hear that they've got, they're doing that data processing that we were thinking about doing. Going on through the thing here, so Cess, our Kenyan volunteer, did that switch from the organizations to volunteers. Olena said she's going to start work on more integration between the list and the map that we talked about. That's Marowen working on the do it posting. And so where we've got to actually is we've kind of got through quite a lot of tasks, and we kind of we've got some more volunteers. We're talking about new sprints, and we need more. We need to get more stuff done.
So is it a case of maybe looking at?
Maybe looking through. I mean, I guess one thing is, from your point of view, is there anything high priority that you're thinking about in terms of needs at the moment? Before we start going into old stuff that we talked about.
No, because some of the things we sort of got stuck on is because we're waiting for links with other organisations, isn't it? I mean, I'd love to get the Charity Commission updates and stuff, like Team London and that sort of thing. And the only other thing I would suggest is maybe should we start on the events side?
Right.
Would that be something?
The events thing. Yes. Well, and the other thing that I was going to mention is services, which is something we were talking with Steve about, also with Dan Burke. And so he, I mean, there's something that's come up in a number of conversations. I also was mentioning it to the people in the Network City event, is that, no one wants to update things, but if you're, because the position of the charities and so on, you have to be updating your funders about what services you're providing and so on. And the thing we're talking about with Dan is, if he wants to maintain this directory of services for youth, then, if there was some way to integrate with the data flow, the data coming from local groups about what services they were providing when they reported to funders, then it would kind of be, you wouldn't be asking them to do any additional work. You'd just be streaming out information about the services. And I wonder, I don't know, maybe that's not something that should be going into How Community Network, is providing a list of the services that each of these things provide.
That's what people say and they want, then it's better to go with something that actually people are saying this is something that would be useful.
Well, I guess the people I'm talking to are people who are on the side of being the organizations and thinking about, oh yes, these end users, these vulnerable people, if we could let them know what our services are, then they might get used more effectively. I guess I'm not in contact with the people who are consuming the services. And I'm not here at the moment. I'm not necessarily. I mean, apart from that youth event we talked to, where I guess were the young people saying we just didn't know about what was going on locally, and we'd like to. I mean, I don't
know really. I remember back to the conversations, the presentations.
But yeah, but certainly we've got the. I think that's something to think about. Whether, because we could be, we've gone from it being a list of the organisation themselves to a list of volunteering opportunities.
Yeah.
And we could also have services in there, and we could be listing the services. Now, the Charity Commission data doesn't have the services, and it would rely upon us, in the first instance, saying, okay, what services are provided by who, and and that'd be another thing to keep up to date. And
if it's not worked with things so far. And that's why with the events thing, I was again going back to looking at how can we
the stuff that's been put.
Because most groups with a website will keep their website up to date to some extent. So
right.
Better than others.
Yes.
Either their website or their.
Yeah, people are going to want to keep their own information up to date, aren't they?
They wouldn't necessarily. I mean, we're the same as well. But we've got a list of places where we can put our information. But it's quite time consuming, so we don't tend to do it. We tend to update our own website.
Yes.
And that's it now.
Yes, and we certainly could be pulling information about events, and I guess that's probably simpler in the first instance than services. I mean, I think absolutely we would, in order for it to work, if we were displaying information about services that are available, we'd have to be doing that from, rather than relying on people to come in and update them, we'd have to be pulling it in from places where people were advertising their services. But I guess that's the kind of thing that probably would be on people's websites, but possibly because the services may just be described in natural text, whereas the event might actually have a calendar, or we've looked at that before, haven't we? So it may be easier to start with events. Yeah. I was just starting to vote on some of these. So these ones, I think.
Don't make any sense to me.
No, I mean this is the breakout. This is the idea that you have some kind of navigation at the top that sort of says that you're here. This is stuff for the search engine optimization. So don't worry about that. And this one, that's your bug that I think these are like minor bugs and so on here. But if we go on, here we go. So if we go through and look at the ones here, so we've got. This is the thing we're sort of talking. This in a similar vein to the events is can we pull in.
So it's when people just have it on their websites
and kind of indicate that this is the place to go to look for volunteer opportunities.
People are looking at mine, we don't seem to use anything at the moment.
I do it.
They just tend to put things on their website.
Right, so they've got some kind of custom thing that allows them to put up that information. Right.
But then every website's going to be different.
Sure. But if we can get a solution that works for 1 in 3, yeah. Well, what I'll do is I'm going to move. So anyway, that's something that's obviously still appealing and valuable, and I'll move that to the top and get that voted on. So we'll look at some other things here, and we've got some. These are old stories. Not sure if they're requesting or proposing organizations to register users. So these are more things for the kind of flow of. But I think we're, as you were saying, like on the admin side, and also we were sort of anticipating that we might be managing the flow of lots of people requesting ownership of organization, this, that, and the other. There hasn't been that much activity, so it seems silly to prioritize that. So maybe the thing to do is to bring the ability to add an event newsletter, automated posting to social media feeds. Maybe I'll get these pulled up to the top.
I think this might be an interesting one. So it could be the volunteer opportunity, isn't it?
Yes. Or the creation of a new. I mean, you have a Twitter and Facebook account and so on. Yeah. So it would be to maybe posting it to the VAH feeds.
A bit excessive stuff with its own branding on Twitter.
No. We could do that. Yeah.
It's about sharing.
Yeah. Or could
create
HCNs
accounts, because that's the thing that changes.
Or right. Twitter. Well, or even when a new organisation is added.
Yeah.
But yes, certainly the volunteering is the thing. HCN's own accounts for Twitter and Facebook. Yes. So what I want here is a mechanism that allows me to move these to the top very easily.
So I think what we've not been very good at, and I think this is my job, not yours, is been driving traffic to this, to the site. So that would be a way to bring people in. Start using it.
Well, then I also wonder, this is quite crazy, would it be worth registering Harrow Community Network itself as a charity?
Okay, tell me another line, I know.
I was just thinking about the Google AdWords thing, driving people to it. So. Oh, I had a feeling we lost the screen share there. It was a little kind of like chip on there.
Our internet's been a bit bad.
Has it? Yeah, I think it's.
Sam, did you want to talk about?
Oh, I'm good. Thanks very much. Cheers.
Thank you.
That's annoying. There was when I went to the GuideStar site. I think this is just on my. It
we are
does
having
it.
a bit of an issue today with our.
The network connection seems stable.
Okay.
It's happened before. It's just that the Hangout resets the screen share and it goes to video mode instead of. And then I'm talking about websites and people who watch it afterwards can't tell what's going on. But anyway, so I moved those to the top. Other features that we had in there were being able to. We got that feedback form and linking it into the site about whether we want to encourage to. I mean, do you have I got access to the? I mean, I guess this probably hasn't been used very recently. I mean, this is not a particular priority at the moment.
No, I think it's always good to have something there. So if somebody's got something to say, they can.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've got it set up on like to alert me if something comes through.
So we had some questions here actually from somebody, and they were like, would the hyperlink to the, so would it be good, I guess the question there is, would it be good to have a little hyperlink to this form from the footer in the site? And like, and called feedback form.
Yeah. Feedback.
Yeah. So I don't think we need the feature flag. Just talking to client and link to feedback form in footer would be great. All right, yes. So that's worth doing. So that being able to override the do it volunteer ops, that doesn't seem to have been, a problem anymore. So low priority.
Just shared the form with you.
Oh, have you? Oh, great.
So we used it quite a lot at the beginning because we were actually asking or typing stuff in, but no one's gone on to it independently of events and things.
I think that one's now. I just think one story here that I think may now be. Because we click that, it opens a new one. I think that story, but that's. I think they are opening in new things. I think I'm just going to put that as finished. Get out of the way. So then we've got some other ones like allow the super admin to see the admin level of all the. So I'm just sort of like playing around in here and looking through our older things. Allow the super admin to see the admin level of all the existing users. That's a nice management thing. If there were lots of users to manage, which there aren't particularly at the moment. Allow super admin to upgrade individual users to site admin. It's probably good in the long run, isn't it? Export data from the site in CSV format. I guess, would you like to be able to drop the data out? Is that maybe not so?
I think if it was being updated regularly, but either through the charity commission or by people, then yes.
Yeah. So not a huge priority, right?
I think at the moment
now.
because we've pretty much got it all in because the original hasn't changed a huge amount.
Yeah, we've got one here for like donation info field in the org edit. Oh, I think that's settled.
Yeah.
Nothing changed button that will update edit status. Cool.
I think that was all about trying to get people to say if we send them a reminder every year, is everything okay? You click.
Yes.
I think that's
more fields for the volunteer. I mean, this is going to fall out as a result of Marin's doing the posting to do it. It's going to that will come out anyway.
Yeah, a lot of it was all about the background stuff.
Oh, this is one. There's like listing. So at the moment on the there's like listing the volunteer ops on the org show page. I mean, I think we'll wait. A lot of these kind of things you can sort of think they might be useful, but you kind of want to almost wait for people to request them before you throw. We've got then the view list of upcoming events. I mean, I think what I'll do based on what you're saying is I will move all of the events related stuff to the top and kind of get that in and re-voted on and you know, we'll
social media stuff as well.
Yeah. That's probably enough for now, isn't it? Yeah. I think what I'll do is I'll put that in as an action item for me. It's like get all events stuff re-voted and moved to the top of the icebox. Give us some stuff to do. So yeah, I'm having lots of fun in Slack. Obviously, it's not you know, we'll try to get Dan Burke into Slack. I still haven't seen him there. So anyway, I'm having fun in the digital charities and network city Slack. Which is really the whole objective of that one. Yes.
Generally, the meeting with Dan, was that useful? Because you rang me afterwards and said he was really impressed with what we're doing. He's like, why couldn't you tell me? I said, I've told you. I'm sure you have.
No, I think it was a useful meeting. Yes. I think particularly the kind of we were doing this talking. I was saying to him, my big concern was like, here you are proposing a system where you're going to try and get lots of people to update stuff, and we've just had the experience over the last 4 years of working very hard to make a system like that, and people haven't updated it. And you know, we need sort of out of the box thinking to like see where are people actually doing the updating already, rather than giving them additional things to do. And so he then was showing me all this, which I didn't know about, all these different kinds of software that people use to update their funders on what they've been doing and so on. And I was saying, if we could somehow connect into that, so that when people are saying, oh, we provided this service in this area and so on, that would be a way to make sure that the data's still up to date. So there was an admin request that came through that I think got handled. There was one.
I saw it and I haven't done it. So I was just logging in earlier. Right.